John Wooden, long before he was the greatest college basketball coach ever, high school, 17, 18 years old. He's standing on the free throw line, state championship game. And as I remember it, if he sinks the free throw, it goes into overtime. And if he doesn't, game's over. And he lined it up and he fired it up there, and it bounced off the rim. Game's over. His team loses. Devastating, right? Crushing. Everyone goes off to the locker room. He hears his fellow players crying, and he remembers that he wasn't crying. He wasn't crying. There was even then, John Wooden was so amazing. There was something, some inner strength in him, some kind of integrity, fortitude, whatever he had going, even at that age. That his feeling was he had left everything on the court. He had played the best he could possibly play. He missed the shot. He felt horrible about it, but he was still okay. He was still okay. Somehow that inner whatever it was inside said, "I gave it my all. Missed it, but I gave it my." And he was. And this is the way he coached. Interesting. He never coached. He never talked about winning the game. He never talked about beating the other guy. He never talked about being better than the other team. That's not the way he talked about, are you playing up to your best? Are you playing your best? At the end of the day, can you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I gave it my best shot? That's what he cared about. He called about, he tied it kind of to his own inner strength. Wonderful Christian. And that was the inner peace that he wanted with Christ. That at the end of the day, no matter what happened, he was still okay. And then he called it kind of painting your masterpiece. Masterpieces aren't perfect, but you're just doing the best you can. So at the end of the day, the idea was that you're holding hands with Christ and having that inner peace, because Christ at the end of the day isn't saying, how many free throws did you miss? It's not the way he operates. Now, meanwhile, the evil one, who wants to be holding your hand at the end of the day, wants you thinking nothing but your failures. You didn't miss. You didn't make the free throw. You messed up. You had 27 to-dos today, and you only did 17 of them. He wants to be pounding you, and that's not where John Wooden wanted to live. So the reason I'm bringing this up today, I talk about the music that bubbles up in my head. This morning, one bubbled up. Old grassroots song called "Live for Today." Live for today. You don't have to spiritualize that too much. Live for today. The next part of the song says, and don't worry about tomorrow. That's right out of Matthew 6, where Jesus says, you got enough to worry about today. You have enough issues today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Exactly what John Wooden would coach about. In fact, Wooden would say, when you look at your day, those things that you're going to do tomorrow, I'm going to start my diet tomorrow, I'm going to start my exercise tomorrow, I'm going to start whatever it is tomorrow. He would say, no, this is your masterpiece today. Do it today. And this, again, is how he would coach his players, right? So in the course of his day, in the course of creating his masterpiece, John Wooden would pick out somebody and call him. Friend, family, whatever, maybe an acquaintance, and just call them, see how they were doing to lift them. That was part of his day in creating his masterpiece. When he would help his players create their masterpiece, early in the morning, he'd put together their practice session on paper, and then later in that day, the players, for 90 minutes, would practice what John Wooden wanted them to practice to become better at whatever it is they were doing. And again, not coaching winning, but being better, getting better at who they were. The humility in this guy is amazing. This is a guy who won 10 national titles in 27 years at UCLA, not with the revving them up to beat down the other guys, but who are you? And can you be better than you were today? Can you get even more out of yourself today? So at the end of the day, doesn't matter what happened, you can look at yourself in the mirror. So going back to this song again, live for today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Next part of the song, give me some lovin'. Who's singing the song? God's singing the song. In this live life for today, he's telling you, live for today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Give me some lovin'. Because Jesus said that is the greatest commandment. He narrowed it down to 2, remember? Number 1, love God with your whole heart and mind and soul and strength. And number 2, love your neighbor as yourself. And that's where I want to slide into coach number 2. This is a guy also named John. You've never heard of this guy. I love this guy. This guy loves his job more than anybody I've ever met. He works in Pittsburgh at a hotel. We were coming down for breakfast. Beth is kind of telling me on the counter, it's a self-serve kind of thing. Okay, they've got sandwiches and they have breakfast sandwiches. They got some coffee, juice, cereals. And all of a sudden, from the other side of the counter, I hear this gravelly voice guy, may I give you the grand tour? Go on. Well, yeah, I want to hear the grand tour. And this guy's our breakfast sandwiches. Well, we have sausage and egg. We have bacon and egg. You put them into the microwave and then select number 4. This will heat them up perfectly. And he goes through the whole thing about all the cereals and juices and coffee. It takes a minute and a half. This grand tour. I'm going. You love your job. He says, I do. I love my job. I love being with you. Love talking with people. And may I share something with you? And I'm going, yeah. And he's looking at the guy with the white cane, right? I have a glass eye. And I'm going, but you can't tell. And I'm going, well, hey, Elizabeth, look like you can't. Yeah, it's a good glass eye. Okay, you got a good. How'd you lose? What? And he explains to me how he was a good baseball player, good prospect, but playing American Legion ball, hit and run plays, running from first to second. He hears the batter hit the ball, looks up to see where the ball's going, got him right in the left eye, and killed that eye. That's okay. It's all right. I had a long career doing whatever he did. Says, now I'm doing this, live a couple of minutes away. And I said, oh, you just walk over? Oh, can't walk. I'm going, wait, now what? He said, well, my back, it's nuts and bolts. It's nothing but nuts and bolts, so I have to drive over. And I said, you're amazing. The joy that is in you. Said, well, So at some point, Beth and I are sitting at the table, and I'm luxuriating in my breakfast. It was one of my favorite breakfasts of all time because of this guy. And it was a good breakfast sandwich and a good chocolate chip muffin and a good banana. I still remember what I had. And a good banana and coffee and orange juice. I still remember what I had. And I go, maybe he did that just for us. Maybe he was trying to lift me, At that very moment, I hear from the counter, he's talking to another couple. May I give you the grand tour? And I'm going, nope, that's for everybody. He's just loving everybody. He's loving his neighbor as himself. And I'm thinking, this guy, as I thought about this song today, Live for Today, this guy is a guy who lives for today, isn't worried about tomorrow, is giving love to those all around him, a coach that nobody knows. He's a coach to me. I still think of this. This happened like 2 years ago. I'm thinking about this guy as I thought about this song and John Wooden and how to live for today and to be the best you can. So at the end of the day, you still have that inner peace. Because Jesus isn't the one pointing at you. At the end of your day, he's not pointing at you and saying, boy, look at all the free throws you missed. He doesn't care. What he cares about is, do you still share his peace no matter what happened to you today? Do you still have his peace? Made the free throw, didn't. Had 100 to-dos and only did one of them. Whatever it was, do you still have that peace that you gave it the best you had and still share his peace? During the course of the day, did you call somebody? Huge. At the end of the day, did your practice session, did you practice your faith? Maybe did you pray a rosary today? Did you schedule, I got to go to confession? Did you go to mass? Did in your daily prayer, did you bring Jesus into the messy part of your life and just have a conversation about it? That is practicing your faith. And that is what I pray you are having today. You're having a great day, getting the grand tour of life. And that at the end of this day, no matter what has happened today, you're still okay. That you still have that inner peace, that you gave it your best day, regardless of how that day went. That you still have Christ within you. He is in you. You are in him. That is a great day. God bless you. See you next time on Men's Morning Light.